Rose. About to move up into line. So Standout Rose goes forward. We're all set. Racing now from the 1600 metres. Standout Rose is third or fourth, pressing forward early. So Eurasia's got the lead with Standout Rose going up strongly. Notorious One's keeping it a little bit wider as well, and Rogue's Point's up there, so it's nearly a line of 4 really. 2.5 away Vintage Stock as they try and sort themselves out. A neck away is Sluice Box at the tail. Standout Rose is committed to go on here and races up on the outside of Eurasia, and the margin is a neck with Eurasia holding the fence. 2 away Notorious One is pretty keen, and Vintage Stock goes up on the inside. Rogue's Point, and last of all on the inner is Sluice Box. So they run off the back with about 950 to go. Eurasia at a controlled tempo leads the way from the favourite Standout Rose. Third is Vintage Stock, and running fourth over on the outside Notorious One. Sluice Box in the Mallee colours back on the inside of the grey Rogue's Point. So they run off the back, and the leader is Eurasia. It's Eurasia leading by 3/4. Standout Rose the outside. Third Vintage Stock. Fourth is Notorious One about to make a move. 2.5 Sluice Box as the speed went on, and Rogue's Point. Standout Rose moves up on the outside of Eurasia, and out 3 wide Notorious One. Sluice Box working into the clear quite nicely as well, and then Vintage Stock and Rogue's Point struggling at the back. Notorious One is after Standout Rose and Eurasia, and then Sluice Box still coming on the outside. Eurasia, Standout Rose, Notorious One and Sluice Box, but Standout Rose has raced up on the outside of Eurasia. Sluice Box, Notorious One. It's Standout Rose, Eurasia, Notorious One, and Sluice Box, Eurasia, Notorious One. Notorious One has won from Sluice Box and Eurasia, and then Vintage Stock. Standout Rose just weak in the last 50, and last in is Rogue's Point. Notorious One, number 1, has done the job today. Not an easy ride, but Brad Parnham's kept him going. Have a look at the vigour there, and the coaxing with the reins. Brilliant riding late, and has won from Sluice Box, Eurasia. Standout Rose close up with Vintage Stock. Might have got squeezed out just after the line there, Standout Rose. But Notorious One, who's a real case up the home straight, and it takes a rider with the nous of Brad Parnham. He had the whip in the left hand, just trying to keep him away from Standout Rose. He then decided, well, I've just got to manage him with the reins and forget about the whip. And that was a telling factor for the victory there, Brad Parnham's riding, and that decision late in the race to put the whip away and just do it with the reins. A long head, a short head, a long head, a short head. No time available at the moment, and it's 1, 4, 2 and 6. What a wonderful finish that was. There was 4 in line with 100 metres to go, and you could sense it was going to be close right from the top of the home straight. Long head, a short head after the running of race number 2. So the winner, Notorious One, of course, for the Gangemis and a string of owners, and is by Animal Kingdom out of Feather Duster. And Brad Parnham needed a lot more than a feather duster to keep Notorious One's mind on the job. Let's go downstairs, and Brittany having a chat to Chris.
I do have Chris Gangemi in the yard. This is a very popular victory for all the owners, because it's fair to say he's been hard work, Chris.
Yeah, he has. He's won 4 out of 7 now, and he's cost himself a couple of races, so he's obviously a horse with a lot of ability. You saw that again today. He sort of tried to throw it away, but Brad was done a good job to keep him straight enough, ride him out well enough so that he can still get the job done.
Let's talk pre-race. We know he can be a real handful at times, and typically we see him go from the back parade ring straight to the gates. Today we saw him do a lap of the main parade, and for him, did you think he was relatively good? Yeah, for him he was super. He is a hell of a lot better this prep. He's still not far from the finished product, or far from good, but he's a hell of a lot better than what he once was, or what he was last prep. He's improving every time he comes to the races, and it's still a long way off. I don't know if the penny will ever really drop fully, but he's definitely heading in the right direction. What were your thoughts in the early part of the race? There was obviously plenty of company up there in terms of that early speed. Were you happy to see Brad just ease back?
Yeah, ideally, if he had to jump well enough and show enough speed, he's probably better off in front on the fence so he can't hang like he does. But yeah, no, it was a super ride. There's enough speed that he could settle 1-1, and no, I was able to just get there.
What were you thinking in those concluding stages? Because he just seemed like he was grinding away and taking inches off of them slowly.
Yeah, he was trying his best to get beat, but like I say, lucky Brad was good enough to get him over the line. But yeah, we needed it. Stables had a very lean run, but yeah, hopefully this is the start of a good run.
Hopefully this is the turning point. Well done.
Thanks, Britt.
Chris Gangemi there in partnership with his brother Michael. Some very happy owners leading him in, and so they should be, because it's hard when you have a horse like this, and obviously it's always heart and mouth for them. You can see them watching the race and pre-race, everything. There is a lot of nerves that aren't usually associated with a normal, comfortable horse who just goes around and you can sort of trust, because you'd have a fair few trust issues with this horse.
Oh, you would, Britt. And I know listening to Chris after his first victory, he was suggesting that the horse doesn't have anything mean in him. He's just got no idea. He's just, I think, a big dummy is the best way to describe him. He's an impressive winner there, Britt, not by the margin, but probably by the fact that he does so much wrong. He's always going to be a pretty hard horse to trust if you're a punter, to have your hard earned on a horse that does everything possibly wrong. But to see him win another race, he's just going to continue on through the grades and pinch races here and there. And the way that Brad Parnham rode him, I think Richie summed it up perfectly. Put the whip away and just see if he wanted to run.
That's it, just was hands and heels to the finish, and really muscling every little bit out of him, because as Chris said, he does like to try and give it away, but was able to just get over the top of his rivals there. It was Sluicebox in for second, Eurasia for third, and Standout Rose, after heading forward, finished fourth. But Notorious One, a well-deserved victory under Brad Parnham, and he's with Scott.
And Brad Parnham deserves his riding fee too after that. Just how hard is he for you, Brad?
He's got a lot of tricks in his bag, so you sort of really need to be on your A game with him. And yeah, look, it wasn't pretty, his win today, but he got the job done.
Probably after first up going into today, even though you're drawn an inside gate, the only place that we wouldn't see you was on the fence again.
Yeah, in such a small field, I was keen to make sure he jumped well enough to not get pushed to the fence, and I thought if he didn't, he would just win. Although he didn't win by as far as I thought he could have, but he still got the job done. So yeah, I suppose he's a horse, he's work in progress, but I think as he races more and gets the experience, he'll step up to better company and probably do the same thing.
And he still didn't jump.
Yeah, he didn't jump well, but he jumped better than the other day, so I managed to not get pushed to the fence, which was good.
Well, for a just win, it was hard work. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done to Brad Parnham. Earned his riding fee there, as you said, Scott, and Notorious One wins race number 2.